there's a fight to be fought against those that want to draw me down to what is, I guess, reality, which is, it's hard out there. You know how difficult it is. I know how difficult it is. I just don't want to talk about that all the time. I want to talk about what do we have to do to get over it, to reach the end zone, to cross the line, to score. I'm more interested in that than ever before. I consider myself a warrior, a tough guy. I live by a creed.
If today is to be the last day, so be it. I will defend what's behind me. I will defend that with honor, with effort. I will rise up. I will react. I will respond. I will not let others do it first because I want it all.
I just believe that my effort can get me places. My determination, my discipline, my conditioning, my prepared state of mind, body, and spirit. I believe that the number one asset I have is my spirit. My mom had taught me the right things. My brother, my great-grandma, keep your chin up, God loves you. I don't remember a lot more, but that's what I remember. I think the thing that concerns me more health-wise right now is I'm suffering from lack of recall. I can't remember things the way I used to. When I played, my bell was rung. And parents need to understand it's a violent game. We're all concerned about the game being safer. I am. That's why I think some of the answers lie in what I do with my hands. And what I'm trying to do now is just simply make the game better for the coaches and the players by studying martial arts. My hands are very good because of the teachers I had. And I needed that as a player because I wasn't real good with running, jumping. So I had to become as efficient as possible with my whole being. And I learned how to use my body and my mind, my spirit all together. And now I share that with players all over the country, high school, college, pro, coaches at every level. I want to help kids play better, coaches coach better. There's a lot of room for improvement in our game, a lot of room for improvement without taking away the violent nature of it.
But I want to introduce our main speaker, Blaise Winter. Blaise will tell you all about himself, so I won't spend too much to talk about his background, his career. He's a graduate of Syracuse. In case you didn't know, Blaise and I were together in Indianapolis for a few years. Because Blaise was just a great player, an average player, but I would go as hard as I could because you're trying to block somebody like Blaise, you got to bring it.
Well, Coach Karen and Blaise Winter played together for the Indianapolis Colts back in the mid-'80s. Coach Roger Karen was an offensive lineman and Blaise Winter was a defensive lineman, so they'd battle it out on a daily basis on the practice field, henceforth becoming friends.
I have no clue. I start to twitch a little bit. Look at him. See what happens in his eyes? Yeah. We haven't been this close like this. We haven't been like this in a long time.
No, but it'd be like 119 degrees in Anderson,
Indiana.
About 6-7 years ago, and Coach Karen was Google searched Blaise Winter's name, and it came to his website, which promotes Blaise's motivational speaking tours. So Coach Karen immediately emailed Blaise, and Blaise got back to him. And Coach Karen was just interested to see if he would come to Pomona-Pitzer and do the motivational speaking and some hands-on training for the players.
Think about loyalty, dedication, all that. We talked about that stuff. Take it to heart. Because I know a lot of hypocrites in this profession who say one thing, they talk about this stuff, they don't mean it, or they certainly don't live it. He says it, he lives it, he walks it, he talks it. Okay, so give it up for Blaise Winter. Yeah.
Every once in a while, you find yourself in a quiet spot, and you ask yourself the question,
What am I doing here? What is this all meant to be? I had a hard time in elementary school. I was beat up, slapped around, made fun of. I wanted to stay home and just hibernate in my room. Mom would pull me out. On this one day, she woke me up early. No school. What are you doing? Mom said, you need to go meet with a counselor with me at the middle school. So we walked in to the room, and the lady started turning the chair, and I sat down behind the chair my mom would sit in. Well, the conversation didn't go on for a very long time, because after the lady said I was a good boy and that she had a plan and the teachers were all in on the plan, she went on to say, you know, Mrs. Winter, not everyone's meant to live an exciting life. Some people are meant to live a quiet and slow life. That was it. If you knew my mom, she would not listen to that. She pulled me out of that room. The ladies, I didn't know it was here. I was thrown against the locker by my mother. She wasn't a happy hippo at that point. She was more like Robo-Mom. Know what I mean? She was happy. And I kept on saying to her, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. Oh, she told me to shut up. So I did after a while. And she said, I'm sorry. I never thought that would happen. The defining moment was clear to me. A defining moment was crystal clear that she loved me. And then she said, come on, let's get out of here. Then she took me down to a football field. How dare she? And she put me on that football field. And I didn't want to play, and she thought I did. But I did not. And I went out to the pile of helmets, and I turned over my head to over my left shoulder, and I said to her, plain as day, I know she could read my lips, I hate you. And she would just smile and wave. She wanted me to help myself. She wanted me to help myself. I didn't know how to. I had fed the voice of doom so much food, so many nutrients. At times she would have me come over to a painting on the wall, and she had me feel the canvas, and she would ask me, what makes that canvas come to life? And I would say, all right, the colors. And she would say, yeah, plus feel that. Feel the bumps, brush strokes. And then she would take my little hand and she would rub my scar, and she would tell me one day I would be a work of art, a masterpiece. And that was something that made me smile. I'm forever grateful to my mother. She was the most incredibly creative, passionate, loving woman.
I think the biggest thing that struck me as I got to know Blaise better over the course of these now 5 years, you can just tell how much he cares about our program and how much he invests in helping us get better. He's not here with us for all that long during training camp, but he makes the most of it, and it's really meaningful to the guys on the team.
I'm here at this college for one reason, to get you to understand what was pathetic about some this morning. Realistically, some of you just went through the motions. You know you did. All right? When they turned on the music the other day, running the training section, the runs, it is amazing how your heart rate went up, your urgency went up, your enjoyment went up, and all of a sudden, some of you that were so tired after 4 drills were all of a sudden running like the wind. Because what? You heard a song. Well, I'm going to tell you this. When the radio's turned off, when the music turned off, you better create a song inside your soul. Because if you don't create a song inside your soul, you won't run very fast. And that is God's truth. You love your mama. Yes, sir. You love your daddy. Yes, sir. You love certain people.
field and you fight, if nothing more, because you love somebody. And if mom or dad was up in the stands or allowed to be real close to you, I guarantee you wouldn't play the way you did. You would play faster than ever. Set up in this position. G.O. strike. Strike.
We got to get down on the side of that zone.
So we worked with us one-on-one with the D lineman a lot this camp, and a lot of the drills he did, a lot of the hand fighting stuff I found to be really useful.
It's helped my game loads. I wish it's something that I had been taught in high school so that I could, I don't know, be a lot better at it.
Previously relied more on speed and power. His hand fighting classes tremendously changed my game.
Oh, that's not bad, young man. Good. Good.
As a smaller guy, the hand fighting is huge for me. If I get locked up on a guy, he just kind of eats me up and takes me down. But if I'm, agile and can get his hands off quick and easy and rotate him around and get around him, I'm a much better player that way.
Blaise comes in, gives his speech, gets on the field, does his thing upstairs, and really gets the kids pumped up and excited for football again. And it really shows.
They couldn't wait to get back on the field. They couldn't wait for the next session with Blaise. It was a transformation that helped us and the coaching staff.
Not only the whole team benefits from him, but individual players benefit from him also.
Almost had it. Good squeeze. I saw you trying something. You'll feel it a little sooner. At least you tried it. I'll leave you alone now, man. All right? Just keep playing. Don't think too much.
Basically, his dream obviously was to play in the NFL, and he did that, and he overcame all those obstacles. And just to live each day going 100%, give it all you got. I mean, that type of real positive attitude. And he really is a great teacher, works well with the guys, and is very, even though he's a big guy, but he's still approachable and has a sense of humor.
I talked to him one day after our last training session with him, and he was like, "What's wrong? Like, I can tell something's bothering you." Basically, we just talked for a while. I ended up crying, and this big long story, but he just told me that it's okay to be real. Like, you don't have to put up a shield against everyone. Like, just be real with people, and I don't know. I feel like I've embraced that, and things have been a lot better for me.
People want to be around him, they want to talk to him, they want to learn from him, and you know what, but Blaise is also willing to learn himself. So, he is definitely an intense guy. He from the minute he wakes up in the morning to the minute he goes to bed at night, the dude is going full speed.
Blaise is the kind of guy who lives and plays and works with a lot of passion and intensity, and in football, you need that passion and intensity all the time, especially on defense. The one thing he said this past training camp, a little phrase, it went up.
I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And that I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do by the grace of God, I shall. That means you have the power to what? Ripple across the lake and reach the shore.
I think that really speaks to me in that it drives me to do everything I can for the good of the team. And then in life, I want to get into public service and things like that. So it kind of drives me in that sense as well. I want to do, everything I can and should to make other people's lives better.
His passion for the game and improving people from beyond, their goals that they've set for themselves and make them cognizant of what they can be, the best they can be in the game of football. So I see that every day out of him. And he really inspires me as a person to go out and coach and do the best I can be as a coach and person.
Blaise really emphasized you're in charge of your own emotions. The way you produce results every single day is up to you.
A common problem in our world today, jealousy. You don't like it? Do something about it. Today, if today's to be the last day, so the hell what? Today, bad. Tomorrow, better. If not tomorrow, the next day.
I think a common thing that, myself and others sometimes think about is tomorrow, or look at, the week. Are we, especially as coaches, how are we gonna be in 2 days, a week, 2 weeks? Blaise really concentrates and focuses on, don't look at tomorrow, don't think about yesterday, is what about today? And if everything was taken away today, what's your legacy?
The passion he has for life, and not just football, but definitely how he goes about his life has influenced me to take my game to the next level, at least try, and just how I perceive things.
Football is a tough game, right? It is. You gotta be a tough person. Life is a tough game. You gotta be a tough person. On a football field, we're asked to what? Evaluate. What are we asked to evaluate? The people we're playing against? Yes. We're asked to what? Understand our own tendencies. And I know I have to do 3 times as much work, if not more, to make sure that voice of doom shuts the hell up. Because I know what makes it loud and clear. And it makes it loud and clear in your heart also. And what is that? Adversity, difficulty, failure, fear, fatigue. Get ready, boys. Get ready. Prepare yourself for those 3 F's to cause doubt, to make that real out. Make it a point in your life to prepare way, way beyond when the coach demands it. Learn from this game, if nothing more, that you need to be well prepared. Otherwise, someone's going to take it from you and hurt you in the process. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And that I can do, I ought to do. What I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will. And you keep saying that until you convince yourself to take the step and keep going.
He definitely brings those two together, where life and football are one and the same. It's like football is constantly about ups and downs and getting up and getting back after it. And that's what life's all about. Life is about ups and downs, and it's just getting up and getting back after it. And don't let life get you down. Don't let football get you down, because you know what? As long as you continue to play hard in life and in football, you will succeed. And that's what he teaches.
This is a new team. That means you have to extend yourself, learn about one another, and evaluate one another on and off the field. You get to know every nook and cranny of that person, spiritually, intellectually, and physically, and you come together with what you can do to solve a problem. Your job is to come together, not divide, to come together, put the differences aside, come together and prove to the darn society out there that you can come together and live in harmony. You understand me? You live in harmony with one another. It's one of the few places on the earth left where black, white, yellow, green should come together, put differences aside, and live in damn harmony. Let everybody out there fight for all the wrong reasons. I played with some of the best people that were black, white, yellow, green. And you put your differences aside. We are football players. We are people. What can I do about it? By the grace of God, I shall. I'm doing something about it. I know we all come from different backgrounds. I understand that. But let's come together and just end up right here, right now, understanding that if today's to be the last day, so be it. If today's to be the last day, so be it. Will you fight? Will you fight? Fight I will. Will you fight?
Fight I will.
It's up to you to put life into those words by every action that you take.
Football fields have always been a very comforting, peaceful place to me. Even on a Sunday afternoon, try to chase down Joe Montana or John Elway or Dan Marino and get on top of them. And they've always been a place of peace. I want to make this feel something that gives somebody who feels like they don't have much of a life. I want them to feel empowered by it the way I was.